It's gone. That was weird. Let me see if I can. Not very good, is it? At all. Really not. I'm going to wait a moment. I suppose these things happen. Hi, Sander. Am I back on? I hope I'm back on. Hello, restart. Yeah, fuck me. I don't know what happened then. I'm back again. Thank God for that. Okay, I've just restarted. One moment, guys. So what's one small thing that you've been thinking about today, recently? Anything that you've been reflecting on? I'll talk a bit, of course. What's one small thing you've been reflecting on? Sorry about that. I'm at the mercy of technology sometimes, or Wi-Fi, and it's obviously just kicked me out, man. Give me a second. I've lost my flow a little bit, but I'll get back on track. What's one thing that you've been reflecting on recently is the question, or if you want to bring up something else, you can do. So I'm back. Yeah, that's great. Anyway, that's the question. I'll leave it there. Sander saying, I've reflected on how much I've grown. Interesting, Sander. What's happened then? Why do you think you've grown? Explain, if you can. Sounds really good, by the way. Callum saying you're concerned about your sister because she's found a voice that she likes. That's typical 14-year-old girl, isn't it? They're going to do that one. It's a guarantee. She's young. How old's the guy, Callum? Yeah, young, naive, underdeveloped. It's normal, of course. But I get your concern. That just shows that you care. You care. It sounds like you care about your sister, Callum. That's very it's good of you, like a older brother, big brother type of thing. You want what's best for her. Sander's saying that it's normal, of course. Absolutely, it's normal. Sanderson saying, Brad, I'm advocating for myself and choosing myself over others. You put yourself first. That's really good, Sander. And I know who I am. Finally, don't need a lot of validation. That is such a good place to be, that, isn't it? I suppose we're all approval junkies to an extent. We all like approval. Fucking right we do. I do sometimes, of course. Human. However, the mercy of other people's validation is fucking difficult, man. Because 1 minute you're a king and everyone's loving you and whatever, and the next minute they don't, and the mercy, you're under their beck and call. And if you just reliance on the validation of others, then it's not going to be a good day out. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. It's good to have your own self-love, self-love. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Good for you, Sander. Going back to Callum. So you're concerned about your sister. What do your mum and dad think is the question. What do they think about the situation? Have they spoken to her? You know what I mean? Trying to guide her in the best way. Have you tried to guide her, Callum? Have you tried to speak to her? Is that even possible? I suppose sometimes they won't even listen to you, will they? Sometimes, even if you've got the best advice in the world, especially when they're at that age, young. So anyway, what's one thing that I've been reflecting on recently? Let me think. I'll just carry on talking. One moment, sorry, sip of water, chilling out a bit. One thing that I've been reflecting on myself is how I get really, and I think I spoke about it in the last video, but I get really annoyed at bossy people. They really piss me off. They really fucking piss me off, and I don't like it. And then I've been reflecting on why do I get so upset? Why do I get so angry? So that's what I've been reflecting on recently. And is it to do with me sometimes? Is it my insecurities? Is it because I've not been assertive enough? Am I not being assertive enough? And then I'm seeing them these other people take over, and then I'm getting annoyed at myself for not being assertive. That kind of thing can occur. So I've been thinking about that, about why certain people bother me, and is it me sometimes? Am I the one that needs to change? Do I need to work on my shadow self? That's what I've been reflecting on. Therefore, that's given me the confidence to be more assertive, but in like a not toxic way, if you get what I mean. And that's made me feel better. Anyway. The Paresh 1978 says hello, Prayesh. I hope I'm saying that right. Prayesh, hello. My name's Brad, by the way, and this is the Inspirational Ambivert channel. It's a community chat tonight. It's chilled, going with the flow kind of chat. Morley says hi as well. Hi, Morley. How are you? Where are you guys from, by the way? Prayesh and Morley, where are you from? Good of you to join us today. I hope you're okay. I hope you're both doing all right. I'm going to change the question. One moment. How do you wind down? After a stressful day? How do you wind down after a stressful day? How do you do it? What works for you? I know life can get hard sometimes. Sanders says hi to Molly and Prayesh, sorry. I hope I'm saying it right. Life can be bloody stressful. Life can be hard. Life can just fucking grind you down. You can't always feel like you want to take on the world. You can't always feel like doing much, really, sometimes. How do you deal with that? How do you do it is the question. How do you wind down? I'll leave that question there for you guys for a moment. What do I do? Sometimes I just like to be quiet. I just like to go for a walk. I like to just have a nice warm bath. I know it sounds boring, but that's it. I like to be away from people sometimes. Believe it or not, I do like to be away from people. Sometimes I get burnt out by people sometimes, even if they're nice people. I just like to decompress. I like to be my own energy. I love going to the jacuzzi when it's quiet at the gym when I go to, when it's nice and quiet. That just unwinds me down, just switching off. Sandra's saying, I like to sleep and be in peace and get quiet all alone. Absolutely, Sandra, absolutely. Let me just try and find something on here. Yeah, it's just there's a lot to be said in the stillness and in the quiet, especially in a world that can't stop speaking. On that note, I'm going to be quiet for a little moment. I'm going to try and find something on here. Hopefully it works. I'm taking it easy right now, as you can see. That's not working, sorry. I'm going to be quiet for a while, you know. Why not? Let's take that pressure away. Yeah, it's good to wind down. Anyway, let's change that. This is a chilled one, man. It's going... I'm going to add what I can in there. But a lot of the time, it's a free-flowing type of conversation. Going with the flow. Let's see where that goes. If it goes anywhere at all. Let's refer to my notes in a moment. What's been on your mind lately? What's been bothering you? What's been inspiring you? What's been worrying you? What have you been thinking about? No matter what, how silly that is. Share with the group if you want to. What's been on your mind lately is the question. Let me just try and get that working again. I'll tell you what's been on my mind lately. Okay. I think I've been a little bit tired recently. Sometimes I do this channel. Of course I do this channel. I create content on here. I sometimes think like, oh, can I keep going? Is it worth doing? Am I doing the right thing? Is it successful? Is it not successful? I have those fucking thoughts often, of course. I have thoughts of like, oh, I really want to get away from the 9 to 5. I want to just become financially secure. Of course I do. Oh, sorry. I think about those things. I think about how the world is. Sometimes it's worrying, of course. The wars, the fact that the country and the Western world is struggling financially. I think about all those things. I think about AI and how it's going to change the world. A lot of these things can be very worrying and very scary potentially. But the reality is, there's nothing I can do about any of these things. There's absolutely fuck all I can do about these things. It's just happening anyway, isn't it? It's like what's been on my mind lately. It's all these world things are going on, all these scary things that are going on. I suppose that's what the news is for anyway. It's to keep us scared, isn't it? It's to keep us worried. That's what's been on my mind though sometimes. I think, oh, do I have to keep doing what I'm doing? Do I have to keep working all my life? Is this the only option I have? You know, of course. And then I do this as well in my spare time, and I think, is it good enough? Are people going to get bored of what I'm saying? I suppose that's insecurities and worries and things like that. I have those type of thoughts as well, of course, human thoughts. However, you've got to keep going. You've got to keep going. And come from a good place. You've got to come from a good place. Try and make the world a little bit better. Try and make the world a little bit better. And you're not going to solve world problems. Of course, you're fucking not. But you can maybe make someone's day feel a little bit better. You can maybe spread a bit of light. You can maybe just listen to somebody. Listen to the problems. Problem shared is problem halved, as they always say. As I always say, I actually say that often. I think those are good things to do. Yeah, that's what's been on my mind lately. Yes, that's all I've got to say, really, guys. I don't know what else to say. What else has been on my mind? Nothing, really. I suppose you try to appreciate what you have your health. On that note, I work in the theatre today and I saw someone, oh my fucking God. The guy, basically, I was on hips and knees, basically, hip and knee replacements. I work as a scrub nurse, basically, long story short, in a hospital. So I helped the surgeon with instruments or whatever. And the patient came in today. He was 62 years old. I'm not going to name names, of course, patient confidentiality. But it's the worst knee I've ever seen. It was completely just worn out, like a knee replacement. So they're cutting open the knee, and then they're going. You look inside, you see the actual kneecap, and the bone was all eroded. It was bad. The patient themselves was so ill. They did not look healthy at all. And I know 62 years old isn't young. It's not young, but it's not old. It's not 82, 92. This person's 62 years old, and they were just they were really big. Their leg was like a banana shape. It was like curved, and it was edematous, meaning that it was the leg was full of water, basically, and the patient was really, really ill, and they were doing a knee replacement. And one of my colleagues said that's the worst knee she's seen for 17 years. The worst knee she's ever seen. That's bad. So this patient was in a bad way, basically. So that's what I saw today at work in the job that I do. And then it just put things into perspective for myself, thinking, oh my God, I'm so healthy. I'm so lucky. This patient was not in a good way. And I just think to myself, I know it might sound selfish, but I'm thinking, I'm so healthy, I'm so grateful. I've got like a sore shoulder, and I was a bit upset about that, but it was nothing compared to what this person has. So I'm very, 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 very grateful for that. And that's what's been on my mind as well. It's just having that gratitude, having that genuine gratitude. I think it's important. Anyway, I'll go to the comments. So, Ali Bigwall, love you. Hello, Ali. How are you? I hope you're okay. Sending love and respect back to you as well, sir. I hope you're okay. Good of you to join us. My name's Brad, by the way. This is the Inspirational Ambivert channel. Just to let you know. It's a nice chilled one today, Ali. I'm just doing a live vlog. Nice live vlog, community chat. I'm asking a few simple questions. Anyone who chats, I'm going to obviously respond. So it's all good. I'm sending love and respect back to you, though. Of course, Ali. We need more of that in the world. We need more of that in the world. Of course we do. So anyway, I'm going to change the conversation, change the topic a little bit. What lesson has life been teaching you recently? Bit deeper, that one. Any lessons that you've learned recently? Or have you not learned anything at all? Who knows? You can't always be learning, I suppose. Has anyone had any life... what lesson has life been teaching you recently is the question I'm leaving with the group chat there. Let's see what people have to say. Maybe they don't have anything to say. That's all good. Who gives a fuck? I'm going to keep going anyway. What's something that's been teaching me? What's something I've learned recently? Trying to think. I think recently, what have I learned? And that thing about myself when I get upset with angry people, bossy people, I think it's come from childhood with regards to myself. I think sometimes in some situations I lack assertion, and then when I see someone else be bossy, it annoys me. It annoys me. And of course, some people who are bossy that are micromanaging, imagine at work, you're going to micromanaging bossy little prick. It's going to annoy people anyway. Of course it is. That's normal to get annoyed by that, I think. But I think I take it deeper. I take it more personally. And then I think the deep part of myself wishes that I was more assertive. So I've worked on myself there. I've done a bit of shadow work. It's good to integrate your shadow self, basically. Shadow self. It's the part that you don't utilize. And sometimes it can come from when you're younger. Like, when you're younger, you're in a family dynamic. You've got mum and dad and you're the kid. You're fucking young. You don't have any influence. You're still a little fucking kid. And you've got, let's say, your parents are taking over a little bit. They don't let you have a voice. You don't get to speak. Be a good boy. Shut the fuck up. That kind of thing. And if that's done too extremely, let's say, that can leave you not having the confidence to verbalize what you want and what you need, and then you can have those traits as you get older. Happened to me. Not blaming mum and dad here, by the way. Mum and dad were great in a lot of ways. They really, really were. However, that's something that I picked up from when I was younger, and that led me to, I believe, not having enough lowered self-esteem potentially, and also always seeking validation, trying to be perfect. I have a perfectionist mindset. Of course, I'm not fucking perfect, as you can see. Oh my God, I'm definitely not perfect. But I have a perfectionist mindset, and when it doesn't work out, I beat myself up really badly, really, really badly, and that's coming from a place of insecurity, a place of lack, a place of, that's something I needed to work on. I think I've worked. Sorry, I'm going on a little bit now, but I've worked on them things when I was younger. But I've not got the whole picture, obviously. So there's always something to work on. There's layers, isn't there? There's levels. So that's one lesson that I've learned recently. I've refocused myself on my shadow self recently, and then I'm going to integrate that. How am I going to integrate that? I'm going to be less apologetic about going for what I want and doing what I want. And if I upset or offend people, if my lie upsets or offends people, then I'm not going to feel guilty about that. That's it. Fucking right. And I think you guys should do too. Be your best self. Don't let other people drag you down, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, that's one lesson that I've learned. Right, I've got another question. I'm going to pop it in the group. When was the last time that you surprised yourself? Done. Let's have a look at that. Share that. There we go. So when was the last time that you surprised yourself, guys? Is there any time where you've gone, oh, fuck, I didn't think I'd do that. I didn't think I'd make it. Didn't think I'd do well in that situation, but I've done so well. I'm surprised with how well I've done. Have you had any moments in your lives where you thought, fuck me, I've done good there, I've done well? I'm going to go quiet for a little moment. See where the chat goes, if it goes anywhere at all. And if not, I'll carry on speaking, of course. It's all good. So, let me think. When was the last time that I surprised myself? I think, thinking about it, I suppose I've surprised myself in a lot of ways, like maybe not so recently, but at one point I was in my 20s. I've said this loads of times. I was taking loads of drugs. I was hanging around loads of chavvy dickheads. I was a chavvy dickhead myself, and I used to sesh every weekend. And sometimes I can't believe I used to say these things, but I did. I used to think, oh, I'm never going to, I even used to say this out loud, which was bad. I used to say, oh, I'm never going to stop taking drugs. This is me. I've got to keep going. I've got to keep seshing. And I used to actually believe that when I was younger. And I did have, I was just on drugs so much every weekend. And that's all I knew. I didn't know how to come away from it. And look at me now. I'm completely away from it. I don't do drugs anymore. I'm 42 years old. I'm nearly 43, for fuck's sake. Time goes quickly. And I wouldn't have even imagined I've gone to university to do a adult nursing degree. I passed the degree. I got a first, which is top marks. Did fucking really well. I work in an operational theatre